Hi, Laura Ashley Abraham here, one of the Michigan Medium Angels. This is the energy forecast video for February, mid-February to end of February. So I just am going to pull a couple cards for you, see what they bring forward, see what your guides and angels want to talk about. Before I do pull the cards, I did want to mention that right now we have a full moon in Leo. I know that it has been causing some issues for people. There's been a lot of stuff that's been coming up, and especially relationship wise. So you may be feeling that. You may be feeling kind of pushed to your brink. I'm hearing that from a lot of people, so you're not alone. And right now, too, we're the energy of that full moon being in Leo is there, it's action. Leo is where like very vibrant and very wanting to do things and wanting to get out there and be seen, be heard and be seen. And so that may be what you're feeling too, is this push to get out of your comfort zone, this push to do something different than you have before in the past. You will be having the energies that will be supporting that coming up. It could be where you're feeling like you want to move, feeling like you want to create something new is what I'm hearing also. It's about wanting to create something new. So just be open to that. Kind of, you may already know what it is. And if you don't, that's okay too. You can always just ask your angels and guides, what is it that I need to know? Or show me my next step, instead of getting too far ahead of yourself and worrying if you're doing something or not doing something that you're supposed to be doing, because we're always kind of judging ourselves in that way, thinking that we're not doing something we're supposed to be doing. So I'm hearing to tell you just to relax. Everything's okay. You are on the right path right now. And it's about being an observer. And again, I'm going to pull some cards, but I'm hearing to tell you it's about being an observer. And before I got on here, also, I heard, don't take things so seriously. Don't take life so seriously. Don't take what's going on in your life right now so seriously. Give yourself a little bit of time to process things and let the answers come to you. But again, because we do have the full moon in Leo right now, there is this push or this feeling of wanting to action, wanting to move, wanting to either physically move, move in career, move in your life, in shifting gears and not creating or doing the same things that you have in the past. So there's a theme that we have kind of going on right now. The other thing I did want to mention too is that Connie and I, the Michigan Medium Angels, we are in week 3 of our Manifesting Success and Prosperity Master course. That is an 8-week course. So we're in week 3 of that right now. And if you are in the program and you haven't gotten caught up with where we are right now, really don't worry. Take your time. There's no pressure. You're going to be able to go back and listen to the modules. You'll be able to listen to the Q&As. The live Q&As are always being posted after we do them in the module. So you'll be able to go back and listen to them. So you don't have to be live if you're not able to make it. But I just wanted to mention that because there were people that were saying, I haven't gotten to where you are right now. I haven't gotten caught up. And that's because the energy, right? There's a lot of things going on. So you may feel like you're falling behind in multiple areas of your life. You're not. That's why I'm saying, just take your time. You have to work through what you have going on. You have to take it step by step. And in the modules, again, that's why, excuse me, you can do it at your own time. It went right to my throat too. So somebody needed to hear that. Okay, relax. That's your message. Just relax. It's going to be okay. All right, I'm going to pull some cards and just see what the energy is for that you need to focus on or what you need to know about for the next couple of weeks. So we'll see what your angels and guides want to bring forward. Interesting. Don't you love it when that happens? Okay. So, okay. The first card that I pulled, which is interesting, is a lion, which would be connected with Leo. So this is about having strength. You're going to need to pull on your strength right now, your reserves of strength. Again, with the Leo energy, to push yourself maybe to do something different, feeling that drive to want to go maybe in a new direction, or to figure out what your life purpose is. There's, again, this new pathway or new opening. So in the next couple of weeks too, you're going to need to call on your strength, because what I'm seeing from the cards too is that there are some, what I would say, some testing kind of going on a little bit here energetically. You may be feeling that now, but not just, not in a negative way, but getting you to really figure out what is it that I want and what direction do I want to go in. That's what I'm hearing. Some of this testing is going to be coming forward for you. And it may be like in relationships and just in general, things that are going on in your life. Kind of for you to stop putting all of the attention necessarily on other people, but also bringing that attention back onto you and figuring out what makes you happy. Where's your joy? What things do you like to do? And making time for those things too. That's another part of Leo, is being self-aware. Thank you. Your guides just said self-aware. Self-awareness. The next card is the Sun, but it's reversed. So this could be connected to a younger male, either a child, or something not necessarily turning out the way that you wanted to, or that you're worrying about a son, or again, a younger male, or somebody like an inner child. You may have partially like some of that going on right now too. That is where, again, worry, there's some type of worry, or there's some type of issue that may be playing a part in what's happening in your life, or where your attention is going, where you're worrying. The younger male energy could be associated too with perhaps somebody acting immature. And that type of energy could be showing up in your life in a work situation, or a romantic partner situation, or in a friendship as well. So just kind of being aware of that. You may be even feeling some of that like immaturity kind of coming out in your own self. So self-awareness, again, is going to be the key, paying attention to that, and not getting too caught up in the thoughts of, I'm hearing to tell you like thoughts kind of taking over, letting lower energy, letting negative thoughts take over. Don't let that happen. You're going to need to course correct where you're going, where you want your energy to go. Because the next card too is the Queen of Swords. And again, this is about thoughts. This is really focusing on where you want your attention to go. And it's about your beliefs too, your thought process and your beliefs. And you may be noticing some of those things kind of coming up more, where you're like, you know what, I really need to change that, or I don't like the direction that my thoughts are taking me. So be aware of that, and really try to course correct. We're talking a lot about that in the master course we're teaching. Course correcting your thoughts is always key. It's very important for you to make sure that if you do have a thought and you're like, okay, well, where's that coming from? Or why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? You can always course correct it. Even if you're not necessarily understanding or sure of where it's coming from, you can always course correct your thoughts and let your thoughts take you in a new direction. Like, yes, everything's going to be okay. Even though this is happening, everything's going to work out. Everything's going to be okay. I keep hearing to tell you that too. And it is so interesting because it keeps going to my throat chakra. So this is going to be a lot about communication as well the next couple of weeks. So you may be needing to speak your truth. You may be needing to step up and say something, whereas before maybe you were kind of staying in the background and maybe you wouldn't have said anything. Now is going to be the time where you're going to be like, you know what? I'm not doing that. This isn't working for me. And I need to say X, Y, and Z. And this is something I'm not going to tolerate anymore. It's interesting. That would be the Leo energy too, of saying, nope, no more of that. This is not okay with me, or this is what I need. And putting out there what your expectations are for yourself, and it's standing up for yourself too. I'm hearing that is a big piece of this, standing up for yourself and speaking your truth. So this card is the Three of Pentacles. This is related to usually with school or learning like a new skill. something having to do with like writing. It could be journaling and writing. So you may that is so funny, right to my throat chakra. Okay, I had to like grab a drink of water because it was going right to my throat chakra. That is a big theme. And again, this may have to do with work. So there may be a work situation where, again, you're having to speak your truth. You may be looking for something new related to career, or learning, again, some type of a new skill, to be able to find a different career or change careers. So there's something that you are thinking about or are working on, and it may require you putting out your resume. It may require you, doing something different within your current position, or applying for another job that you weren't even, that you didn't even think, well, maybe I'll get that, or, you want to try for something different. Thank you. They just are bringing forward also where even if you're not sure about what you want to do or with your career, or if you aren't working right now and you're kind of trying to figure out how to make more money, it's kind of like coming up with a plan. That's what I feel like this represents. Writing things down to come up with some type of a plan, or just to put your thoughts down on paper and see what comes up. You might be surprised by that. The next three cards too are sort of like an overview. So we have the Justice card, which is reversed, which right now you may feel like some things are unfair, or you feel like you're not being heard. And it's like you are feeling misunderstood is also what I'm hearing. So if that is the case, again, this is just for this next few weeks. That's where the communication is going to come in. You're going to want to really work through that. And it may be talking with your guides and your angels. You might want to journal. You may want to, channel or ask for a message from your angels as well, like what you need to do to shift the energy of that. Because there's something where you're going to need to give a little bit, but you're also going to need to really stand up for yourself and really set some healthy boundaries right now. But also, like I said, having self-awareness. Why am I feeling this way? Why am I reacting this way? And asking those questions so that you have a better understanding of yourself and where your energy is taking you, where you're headed. And if you don't have all the answers right now, that's okay. I'm hearing to tell you, you don't need to have all the answers. You need to take the time to go within to figure out what is going to work for you. And you are going to need some time. I'm hearing it may be a couple weeks, it may be a couple months before you actually make a decision, or before you actually know what you need to do to move forward. Whether this has to do with, a relationship, or whether this has to do with an issue you're having. Because one of the next card that I pulled too, well, the next two cards, we have the Six of Wands, which to me, this is partial victory. So there's some situation where it's like you may have been in an argument, or some things were coming up within you that you're like, this is stuff from the past. I don't want to deal with this kind of an energy, or issues going on in a current relationship right now, where it's like, this is very frustrating. And you're like, I thought I was past this, or I thought I was over this. But this is a partial victory card saying, part of what has happened, or some of the things that are coming up in the relationship, or things that are coming up with work, or whatever that is, it needs to get worked out. So there's some adjusting that needs to happen, and you may not feel like you are fully I guess, justified. I know we have the Justice card, but you might not feel like you've been fully understood. And what I'm hearing to tell you is be okay with this not knowing right now, this not knowing period about what you're supposed to do, or how you're supposed to handle this, or what's going to happen yet. You need to take it a little bit at a time, piece by piece. And then the next card is the Five of Wands, which is like an argument. It's having arguments or dealing with people where you feel like you're fighting or arguing, but it's reversed. So it's letting you know you are moving out of that energy and you don't have to stay stuck in it. And it's about how you're going to communicate and how you're going to use your words. You're learning a new way of being, actually. And that's why you may be feeling a lot of pressure or feeling like, in the relationship, family, friends, work, all of it. It's like you almost don't feel settled in a lot of areas. And this is intentional. And that's where this Leo energy is coming in, and it's trying to like push you outside of your comfort zone and get you to think bigger, think bolder, and call on your inner strength right now to be able to help you to navigate this. So I'm going to pull a couple other cards too, but they just told me to pull one more. This is the Magician card, and this means that you have the power within you to shift your energy. You have the power within you to shift this situation. I'm hearing again, don't get caught up in drama. Somebody may be trying to pull you in to drama. Somebody may be putting their insecurities or their fears onto you. It's very important for you to protect your energy field right now. Setting healthy boundaries, saying, I don't accept that. That's not my reality. I'm not going to respond the way that they want me to by getting me all upset. I'm going to take the time that I need to work through this and figure out how I want to respond in a way that I feel good about, or that makes me feel where I have communicated my needs, my desires, and that I have been and then I've also been hearing and listening to the other person in a loving way. But if they're not reciprocating that, that's where you need to set a very healthy boundary. And if you're feeling drained or tired or exhausted, after the interaction with these people or with this person or with work or this situation, that is a sign that's telling you that this may be a toxic issue and that you need to remove yourself from it, or at least give yourself the time you need to figure it out and work through it so that you can navigate, or you can figure out what you want to do going forward, because you may not want to continue in that. And I know we have Valentine's Day coming up, so that's fun. I'm going to pull a card too for romance, for relationship, just kind of see what they bring forward. But this is again, it's like, for right now, if you are in a relationship, what I'm being told to tell you is be appreciative of the relationship and the things that are working within it. And if things are not working within the relationship, I'm hearing that you need to really give yourself permission to let go and move forward. And I'm hearing to tell you to let go of guilt. Guilt is a very low emotion, which we talk about in the master course. And you don't even realize how much guilt is like holding you back and pulling you down and making things worse energetically. And it's like, you can't bring in good stuff when you're holding on to guilt, or you're holding on to a relationship, or you're staying in one out of guilt, job, any of those things. So, and if you feel guilty about something you did or didn't do or said or didn't say, clear up that energy, because that is going to continue to kind of come back to you until you do clear it up, until you fix it. So within your relationship, if you are in one right now, really focus on the qualities and the aspects of your relationship that are working. Try not to get too caught up on what isn't working, and be present in your relationship right now. If you're realizing, you know what, there are just things that are just not working, and try saying your needs, try talking and communicating about with them, with your partner, about those things. And if you are feeling like you're not being heard, that is an important time, like right now, to kind of take a step back and figure out, okay, what is it? Is it too far? Is it not working where it's like, I need to consider leaving this relationship? For instance, when there's substance abuse involved, or it's a toxic relationship where you are, verbal abuse, obviously those are very obvious signs, physical abuse. But sometimes it's like, we don't even realize how bad it is. And if there is a situation where it's like, this just really isn't working, and you're constantly like feeling bad, that is letting you know that this isn't a good relationship to continue. Whether, again, that's a friendship, because I'm hearing relationships are really significant right now. is a focus for people in this card reading, obviously today. So we're really talking about a lot having to do with relationships and reevaluating, kind of figuring out where are you at in your relationship, and how to make it better. How do you make it better? You are only a part of that. And so your energy and your vibration does matter, but also the other person, whether again, friendship, family member, but you can always hold your own space, just like the Magician card, and you can decide how you're going to choose to respond and react. That's your power. So the card that I pulled connected to the romance cards with relationships is about children. So your love life is being affected by children. But this could also represent bringing in your inner child into the relationship, like having fun, bringing in more fun, bringing in more lightness, seeing the other person as more playful, and again, not getting too caught up on what they don't bring versus what they do, and try to bring in, again, like childlike joy into it. Or it could represent being too immature in the relationship, and it's like you just need more. And it could also represent your own children that you're needing, maybe to spend some time with, and nurture them right now, that if you're not in a relationship, or if you are in a relationship, spending time with them. So the children is an aspect in your relationship right now. How that affects you and how it affects everybody is going to be different, but take the time to really honor your children, spending time with your children, honor your inner child right now. Maybe again, you need to bring in some more lightness, some more laughing, more fun, and be in the moment. I'm hearing to tell you to be in the moment. Make sure that you are taking time to just be present and appreciate what is happening in the moment. All right, with that, I'm going to wrap up. I'm doing a little bit of a shorter one this time. So hopefully you have a wonderful Valentine's Day, whether or not you celebrate it, do something nice for yourself, and lots of self-love. Okay. All right, everybody. And if you wouldn't mind leaving a comment, or, you can always reach out to me too, because I do readings and coaching if you're struggling with any issues. All right. Have a great rest of your day. Great week. I will see you in a couple of weeks, and sending you lots of love. Mwah. Love you. Happy Valentine's Day.